and extraction part, they can do as well the transformation as the data modeling part, that right. And data analyst part, those are nothing but that reporting peoples, like they used to give that reportings. Uh, some companies are giving that expectation, like they can do as well data modeling or transformation or the ingestion. It depends upon the companies, but these are the basically three roles where you can, if you are switching from data engineering to data analyst, sorry, analytics engineering part, that you can do. If you are moving from that BI part or data analyst part to analytics engineering, that also you can go. Okay, so there is nothing like differences, like you can't do these things. Okay. So before that, you should have kind of like, what are all those skill sets like you should have? At least you should be good at SQL. That is what the expectation, because inside the DBT, uh, all those models and all things are SQL specific. It's not like that only SQL transformation you can do. You can do as well that Python transformation, but morely all those things are SQL specific. Those models and all, it is more friendly to SQLs. Okay, so the skill sets mainly, you should know, have a good knowledge on the SQL part, and Python, if you know, that is good to have. Instead of SQL model, you can go for that Python model if you are more comfortable on that. That also supports, but many things like if you say that some materialization are there, means where DBT supports to create tables, incremental loads, views, all those objects. There you will have some kind of challenges, like Python doesn't support much. Okay, so they have introduced recently Python part. So it is have some kind of limited things. But if you are using that SQL models and you can utilize all those DBT features. Okay, and this DBT similar tools, if you can go outside and see the competitors like SQL Mesh are there, data form is there, or low code or no code, those tools are available. And for this YAML and Jinja, these are the probably these languages. We'll see when we'll go more deeper into that DBT side. We can see this YAMLs and Jinjas, those things. Those are nothing but how you are writing your JSON files, like key pair validity. So like that, we have the some kind of templates where we define all those things. Okay, those are the configuration files mainly. That YAML we can say, and that's orchestration tools. Like if you are going for the DBT core, then one orchestration tool you should know, whether it is Airflow, Perfect, or Daxters. These are the tools available currently in market, and you should know at least one tool if you are going for DBT core. If you are using DBT Cloud or DBT platform, then it is having its own orchestration, like through jobs, you can do the orchestration, it's not required. It depends actually. If your company is utilizing this DBT core, then you should know at least one, maybe Airflow or Perfect or Daxter. Okay. So these are the things you should have, at least you should have good SQL skill before learning this DBT tool. Okay, so then we discussed that what is DBT, and where we are having some kind of like things like ETLs is there, ELT is there, right? So previously we used to have that ETL concept. What is that? ETL is that, like we used to do that extract, do and transformation and load. Why we used to do basically? Because initially when you are using that Teradata or Oracle or SQL Server, that times storage is more costly. But nowadays we are having this cloud things, like storage is very much cheaper. So because of that, they used to implement something like you might have known these tools like Informatica is there, okay, Talend is there, SSIS, those tools are there. those are nothing but that ETL tools, and those tools basically they will do all those uh, raw data handling, do that extract part transformation they will do, and some clean data they will load into that OLTP or this Oracle or Teradata, those data warehouses, right? But nowadays things are like not like how it was before. Storage is much cheaper, right? So that's why we have mainly the concept of this ELT comes, and where it fits this DBT. DBT is nothing but our T part. Where it's not like ETL or ELT. It is the T parts of that ELT. You can say that we are having two tools. Like one tool will do that injection. They will do that is lift and shift, and then inside your warehouse we are going to do the transformation. Okay, and this what are the benefits of this ELT compared to that ETL? When you are having all those raw datas, okay, with you, you can do as per your requirement all those transformation. Okay, you do not have to. If you need a simple transformation, what initially it was like we are having that ETLs, right? We are having that ETLs means Informatica or or any SSIS tools like uh, give me 1 minute just. Sorry guys, I was having some disturbance. So we are having this hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so we are discussing about this raw data part, right? So when you are having raw data within your warehouse, you are having much controls, like any kind of transformation you want to do, that is not much time taking, right? When you go with that ETL part, you need to raise a request. Okay, so they need to do that extract, they need to transform those things, and clean data they will load into the warehouse. Okay, but in case of ELT, that is not like we are having already data inside our warehouse, so we are not moving outside of warehouse, right? How the ETL part was there, because that time storage was more costly, and that's why they wanted to do all those transformation outside their warehouse, and only that conformance clean data they wanted inside this ORS. That's why they used to go for that ETL principle. But nowadays these things are not happening. That's why we are having that in modern tech stacks. You can see more ELT compared to that ETL, because we are having tools like DBT, SQL Mesh. Okay, so they used to work properly in the ELT principles, not that ETL part. And these are the any kind of debugging. If you'll see that you need to trace those things inside that ETL. Okay, then you need to verify all those things, because it is kind of like all those things that one tool is doing. It is doing that extraction, it is doing the transformation, it is doing the loading. But when we are having some kind of debugging and all those things, that is hard to trace, right? So, but in case of this ELT, as we are having extract and load for one part, like ingestion team, okay, one different tool is there. Transformation we are doing with another tool like as a DBT and SQL Mesh, as I mentioned, and we are specifically I'm going to learn DBT, so I'll talk more about the DBT part here. Okay, so these tools are much more uh, good compared to this ETL kind of thing, right? So here actually where our tool best fits, and in this modern tech stack, ELT is the part where T part is completely for the DBT. So any questions in this slide?
Yeah. So I'm just trying to understand that Snowflake is data warehouse in itself, right?
Mhm.
So where does DBT fit in it? I mean, I think we can do transformation inside the Snowflake only with using SQL or Python, right?
Yes, we can do those transformation inside Snowflake environment without using DBT as well. But there is some kind of benefits if you use that DBT that I'll show you in the next slide.
Okay. So another thing that is in mind is, does it sit on separate server?
No, this uh, transformation, okay, what you are doing the DBT inside DBT, we'll utilize that warehouse, that is Snowflake warehouse, okay.
Okay.
So it is not going to be in the other part. And what are all those problems basically you are having in uh, as you mentioned that we can do the transformation. When we are
All right.
doing any kind of transformation, right, we generally write the store procedure, correct?
All right.
Inside store procedure, we are having all those logics, mainly at least 1,000+ lines are there, different kind of transformation we are doing.
All right.
When any kind of issues are happening, right, what is the problem? The debugging is main problem. Why debugging is main problem? You need to understand that particular store procedure, correct? Whatever 1,000 or 1,500 lines are there, and you need to see the data flow, where exactly that flow goes and comes. Okay, that is you can't see visually, but in case of uh, DBT, this is you can see. Let me. Okay, here you can see that how the message structure is if you are having that store procedure. But the
All right.
same logic, okay, inside store procedure, if you are having 10 to 15 kind of logics are there, that 10 to 15 logic you can differentiate inside DBT using 10 to 15 models. And what is the benefit of that? You can see the lineage, like what is the data flow, where exactly those 10 to 15 things like logics, whatever written inside one store procedure that
Mhm.
you are not able to identify that particular lineage data transformation, exactly where it is going. When you will do any kind of debug in,
Right.
you need to do what kind of like trace all those things, trace back, trace
Right.
into, those things you can do,
Right.
right? But here, that is the problem DBT is solving. That's why it is more popular now in that stage. You can see the lineage, you can see the uh, data lineage, means column level lineage as well. This data
Right.
is used in particular node, and then it moves to this way. It is always left to right inside the DBT lineage. Okay, it will show that left to right. And another thing is that when you are doing any kind of changes to one particular node, okay, whatever this interconnected, like as I mentioned, in suppose in store procedure, 15 logics you are writing. Okay, so
Mhm.
suppose number 13 or number 12 logic you are going to change. What DBT will do? It will do run all those 15 models, okay, so that it will keep that track, like for any kind of changes into this particular one node or one module, it does not have any impact to others. Okay, so all should pass. Then only it will say that it got passed. But in case of store procedure, right, if you are doing some kind of changes to one particular logic, it doesn't ensure that previous part was right, or it was having wrong impact or something, right? When you will run or debug, then only you will get to know, due to
Right.
this particular line of changes, I am breaking all those other logics, right?
Right.
This is the main thing why that modularity approach is more famous inside DBT. And with that, we are having different kind of things like that documentation part, right? So any
Right.
project we are going for the documentation. Initially, we'll do some kind of documentation with the help of BA or project owner and all the developer. Gradually, when our codes are increasing, we are doing the changes. We may forget to update sometimes. That happens. Okay, we maybe like in kind of like a thing. Okay, this time we missed something or we added something like wrong things as well also we did, means all those explanation and all sometimes due to time bandwidth or any kind of things we try to do manual interpretation and sometimes those data are not updated. Suppose you have written multiple store procedures and all those documentation is not properly maintained and you are leaving the organization, someone else will come, then what will be problem? They need some time to understand those logics and then utilize those things. But
Mm.
inside DBT, what happens? Anytime you build this models, okay. So as I mentioned that for that store procedure, you are
Mhm.
building the models. It automatically create that document. Okay, so then
Yes.
we do not have to uh, rely upon all other manual things and all those things. Every time these models run, automatically your documentation updated as per the changes. Okay, that is two important things. As well as that, we are having that CI, CD, all those things are they are available inside DBT Cloud or DBT platform. Why?
Mhm.
That's why means people are more adapting nowadays DBT much. Okay.
So release document part for the developer is done through this now.
Yeah, release part documents are done through the DBT only. You don't have to manually do or you need to store or something. Nothing you
Right.
need to do. It is automatically created.
Nice. Plus, it creates a lineage of the all the changes and from where the data is coming and going.
Yes. And this orchestration and all those things, it gives some kind of packages, inbuilt packages where you can verify like orchestrations. Uh, you can see the difference between what happened last build, what is the current build, how much time this model took last time, what is the performance related things, what is the lineage related things. Okay, those things you can see as well inside DBT, that is orchestration. So
Okay.
these are the main things. And if I was not able to show this slide last time, if you are good at learning, I'll suggest these two books. You can go for this Unlocking DBT and this Fundamentals of Analytics Engineering. These two are the good books where you can find all those things. Okay. So coming to today's part, I'll show some kind of installation process where will work. Mainly, we are going to do these things using Snowflake as data warehouse, and DBT is the transformation tool. So let me share my screen
Uh,
and
Good morning. One question.
uh, any doubts?
Yeah, Yusuf, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear.
Okay. So can you go back to the previous slide?
ELTTL, that one?
Yeah, yeah. Like here, this is also fine. This is also fine. See,
Okay.
I know right now I'm designing a solution with the DBT, and the question is, here also we are trying to implement the way you showed here, staging, intermediate marks, but we have kind of introducing the machine learning architecture here. So in that case, the DBT, we need to have a separate thing for every stage, or I mean, every stage means raw in your based on your diagram, raw
Mhm.
staging, intermediate, mark, four different DBT process, or one of them all the way from start to end.
It is start to end, only one, not different one. It is kind of a layering we are doing inside DBT model. Okay, so it's just kind of a layering
Yeah,
we are giving. Yes.
let me tell you, why I'm just thinking that one or multiple thing is that the raw is just bringing data the way you are showing the API, we are bringing data from S3 Parquet into the normal table.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, from the different sources, it is giving that raw. Okay, so
all the files are there in S3 as a Parquet file. We are bringing Parquet file directly into a table, in the direct table into the raw,
okay,
which nobody has access. From the
fine.
in the staging, we are combining multiple tables which are there in the raw into a normal kind of common joining multiple tables from multiple CSV files, sorry, Parquet files as a table and multiple table into one intermediate table in the stage. From right now, we are thinking of three different approach. One is Snowpart, other one is direct store procedure, the third one is DBT. I'm more on DBT, but still I'm discussing with the architecture team. But then that is also, it's only for our team, nobody is doing that. And the third step, what you have intermediate, which is the what do you say, that silver layer in my, as per the Michelin architecture, we are bringing data by combining multiple table from staging into the intermediate where they give access. But there we don't use fact and dimension table, but faction dimension table available only in the mark based on the individual subject area. So in that case, do you prefer DBT is one DBT or multiple DBT?
No, first of all, one thing I want to mention that raw to staging, I'll suggest don't join anything. It should be always one-to-one relationship. Okay, why I'm telling that raw to staging one-to-one relationship? Because when any kind of issue will happen, then you will not able to track those things. If you're doing any kind of multiple joins and all those getting data inside staging, so don't do these things. Okay, raw to staging as per the documentation, it is always one-to-one. You can do add something like if you are having like a first name or last name is there inside raw, small kind of things you can add first name, last name plus full name. You can do that thing like, but it should be always one-to-one from raw to staging first of all. And the second things like you are telling that the staging, intermediate and marks, it should be always in one system so that the flow, whatever you are doing from the staging to intermediate, then marks, it will be there as well. You can have different kind of environments like dev, UAT, and whatever your production. Okay, for the dev, you can set up one kind of like instance, and for like UAT and for the production, different kind of setup you can do for the different environment, not the for the single environment that you can do. Okay.
Okay. The case, right?
Yeah, you can do the different schema means inside one schema for the staging, one schema is for the intermediate, and another schema for the marks. But you can do different Snowflake environment for the staging, intermediate, and marks.
Okay. I'm not sure you are aware of that DBT has been bought by Python.
Part of Fivetran, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is. I am aware of that one. Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no, and Python also bought SQL mesh also.
Nowadays,
So yeah, their target is whatever the thing what Python is a very costly product as of now.
mm,
So the Python bought both the DBT as well as that SQL mesh
Dividends,
because
skill
they,
mess, yes.
yeah. So what they are trying to do is, because I had a talk with both DBT and the SQL mesh account manager. You know what they are saying now, since they bought this product, the Python is trying to get the best out of their product and with these two products and combine them, and they're going to release a new. It's
Yeah, they
another kind
can
of
do.
complete mess, complete mess.
Yes, yes,
And
they.
and as of now, the worst part is, as of now, there is no kind of no future or answer from the Python about the people who already implemented the DBT in production.
Yes,
That is
that
the
is
biggest.
one challenge. Is big challenge is it is there. They don't have more people. They kind of like do support and all. That is another issue. And the thing is that this license also DBT Cloud license is more costly.
Not like Python, though. Python is very expensive.
Yes,
And the Python model is different than DBT model. Anyway,
yes,
so
the
please
thing
continue.
that
Thank you.
yeah, that is kind of like ingestion. If people don't know about that Python, that is the ingestion part. And what we are discussing this DBT is our transformation because uh, these are two different things. Okay, but as a company, Python acquired this DBT. Okay, then they may do some kind of changes as per their interest, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, 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 sure, Pascal. So we'll have today all those installation part done so that tomorrow and day after tomorrow, 2 days, I will take two slides like data modeling for that one because data modeling is important in this transformation part, right? So transformation is nothing like more kind of like asking questions and gathering requirements. And as a DBT data engineer or analytics engineer, what is our role? Our role is to read that models, ER models, or we are having any kind of like Vault models, whatever that facts and dimension, that star schema, Snowflake schema, you have heard those things, right? So if you are at least you should aware of those terms and how can you utilize those things. On that basis, your transformation should happen. They will give you some kind of ER diagram. On that basis, you are going to learn those diagrams. What is the connection between all those things? Then you need to develop those staging layer, mat layer, all those things, right? So without data modeling, it is very difficult to survive inside DBT. Okay. So initially, we should know at least something related to what is that ER diagram, what is that facts and dimensions, how we can uh, check that grains and all. Okay, so these are the some things we should know because when you are doing that transformation, if you do not have that much knowledge at least, then it is very difficult to know all those things. Okay, and gathering requirements always to ask the questions. You can say what kind of what data you need to able to meet your goals and business objectives. What questions using data are most important to your team. Okay, so as per that KPIs, as per the source and destinations, what will be the source for you? What will be the destination? What kind of business logic you are going to implement? What exactly VI people need and where I can get all those data. Okay, so these questions mostly you will get the answer from that ER model or that diagram. Okay, it is bit difficult to check all those table labels or in that there you need to find which one because if you'll say that one example, I'm telling that customer name, you can find in multiple tables we are having that customer name, but where exactly I need to fetch for my requirement that customer name, that part you should to be you should ask proper question to the teams, then only you will get those answers. So DBT is morely having that gathering requirements and knowing the data model at least basic things. What are all those ER diagrams, facts and dimension, at least scar schema and snowflake schema. If you are utilizing those things, then you can go. That's why we are having two classes for data modeling as well. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we'll see those things. Today, we'll have this Snowflake installation as well as the DBT Cloud installation. So let me quickly share my screen. Okay. Sure. Yeah, this is for the Snowflake setup, and it is having 120 days setup. Let me see this one. This email ID. I have added this URL, particular URL, where you will get 120 days free trial instead of what DBT gives is the 30 days of trial period. Here we can have that requirement is that first name, last name, and work email. You can give Gmail as well, it will work where you signing up those things. Before that, I can show you something like we can have some kind of temporary email. Don't want this thing. We go this here. Okay, so we'll get this email ID. Temporary email. Let me copy it here for your reference. Okay, it got generated one temporary email ID. We'll just use this one. Also work email. Where is sign up? Other. Continue. Company name. You can use this as company name. Job title. T and say enterprise or business critical, anything you can go. So if you are utilizing 120-day free trial, you can go for this business critical as well. And here we'll have that AWS service I'm using. Anyone you can have Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud, that will not an issue. And here we're having a US West. So why I'm keeping this US West because initially when Snowflake came, it started from here, and any kind of new releases and all those things you are going to have first they will deploy in this region, then it will go to other one. Okay, so whenever you are trying to use this Snowflake, you can try always a US West region. That is more preferable. The traffic lights. Business. These are correct, right? These three. You don't have any bridges here. Verify. Select your preferred languages or other. You can keep SQL, Python. You can skip it, not an issue. Skip here as well. Your account has not been created. Why? Oh, okay. Okay, continue. You have this started. Okay, continue. SQL, continue. And they're having some error. Let me close it. Settings. extension. Why? Something wrong. Let me change this email. This temporary email nowadays, I think it's not taking. Yeah, we can have this details. We wrote. Mhm. You can see here I received an email. Click to activate. It is asking. I can copy link address here. Paste. Content. Data. It started. Now you have created a Snowflake account. This is having 120, 119 days. You can say trial ends, and we're having $400 credits. I will go for that DBT Cloud setup. This is the page. Let me copy URL. Where, that's it is having 14 days validity. This DBT Cloud or DBT platform, you can say here. It is having 14 days validity, so you can use here this temporary email. It works. Activity and class something. Okay. So function home. For that, into the report. Okay, so you can see this verification email already sent to here, this temporary email. Here you can check this one. You can just verify your email ID here. So you can see this, you are having the 13 days other you can do next. We are having 13 days left in this starter trial account. Okay, so now the things comes like how can we integrate this Snowflake account we created and this DBT new account. Here you can see project name, you can give a DBT practice, DBT practice, then continue. Here we are having this connection details, correct? We can add new connection. These are all those setup it is having for Snowflake, PostgreSQL, BigQuery, Redshift. With this, you can work. We are having Snowflake. That's why we are connecting with Snowflake. Connection name Snowflake. Let it be this account, database, and warehouse. These details we'll get from the Snowflake. Already it is here. View account details. User, you can see account you have here. Copy it. Then database and warehouse we have not created. This one. Warehouse default, let's check compute warehouse. Then we need to save this one. This database I have not created. It will be created by DBT only automatically. Okay. Saving. Once this Snowflake details we gave, we can go for that credentials. That you can see DBT practice is there. Configure your development environment. Connection, you can see here. Already we have created this Snowflake. Authentication method, you can go with username password or you can go with the key pair. Okay, so in industry we always have that the key pair authentication instead of this username and password. Okay, so for this what we'll know, it will go for this key pair authentication. It will ask some private key and private key passphrase. Okay, I'll show you how can you easily create this private key and private key passphrase. Here mm, if we'll go for this, okay, project. Let me get a SQL file. This control create database DBT practice I created. DBT practice created successfully. Now we are into DBT practice.
Sushil, actually, Shiva here.
Yes,
Sorry to
yes, sir.
interrupt. Yeah.
Yes.
You have created given the database name with incorrect spelling there. Actually, could you please remove the A and create this database again in practice? I
This
think
one.
you have given, yeah, I think you have given DBT underscore PRC TIC there. Yeah.
That will not an issue. That will create automatically. We can do change into configuration. That will not an issue. We can do later as
Oh,
well. Okay.
okay, yeah, fine, got it.
Yeah.
And one more thing I want to know, like, what is the warehouse part you are passing as a parameter? What is the difference between database and the warehouse actually?
Yeah, so whereas we required for this compute inside Snowflake, okay, so database we are creating, but inside database, whatever that compute DBT will do, this is specific to Snowflake only, okay, for a different environment, like if you are having that Postgre integration, then we don't have to do this warehouse details as well. Okay. It is specific to Snowflake only. And here we for the compute whatever DBT will run this query inside that Snowflake. Okay, so it needs a compute part. For that we are providing that warehouse, that one, compute warehouse, that details. Okay. So for this key pair, we can directly go with that username and password, but this is not a good practice. That's why we are going for this key pair practice part. And for this key pair, we need username and private key, these two details. I'll show you how can we generate easily. We don't need to remember many things because we are having this. You can see this here. One context code is here. Okay, we can just ask these details. We want to create this key pair authentication for DBT, then it will help us to create this thing. Let me ask. It's saying that generate RSA key pair on your local machine. OpenSSL is required, right? So this thing we need. It is having Windows system. Then we can ask like in Windows. OpenSSL. It's saying that you need to go for that PowerShell. Okay, so let me open this one, PowerShell. PowerShell. We're just copying from here and pasting over here and get install OpenSSL. Isolation. Install. How to check. The term OpenSSL is not recognized as a name. Winget. See this one. No. Okay, we are having this issue. Then we simply do copy over here. Let's take out. It looks like OpenSSL installed by Winget, but it's not your path yet. Run this. Again, this one. Then restart PowerShell. Let me restart it. Start PowerShell. OpenSSL version. OpenSSL not recognized and run. Okay. Sorry. Same error. Get child item. One second. Where? It is already here. We'll see this thing. 3 places it is there inside Aaron, inside Git, inside Git. For the first time, you will not face this issue because I already have installed these things. That's why I was getting this kind of issue. Let me copy this as well. It's saying that we are having already inside parcel this OpenSSL. Now we can generate this details like private key, your key pairs. Right. Right. Looks like, oh, is this path? Then run key generation. Checking now. Now it is done. Done. Then now generate public key. Write an RSA key. Once we get this public key, then now need to display. This is the public key. I need to save somewhere. I will modify it later because I'm exposing these details. It's supposed to not expose these details as well. Okay, so once this public key we get, we can add this alter. Press the key without highlights. Executed successfully. Okay. So now we'll go to this DBT. We're having that key pair authentication. Here our user is DBT, username, private key. Let me test connection. It is working or not. It's showing error. Okay. No need to worry. Just copy it here. Getting error. Okay, we'll get from that partial get v8. Okay. Here is the exact key. Copy. Test connection. It is having error. See inside. Okay, begin private key. It should look like. Okay, begin private key and end private key. Oh, they are not added. To add from here. Copy. Test. Now it is success, right? You can see this complete. You can increase this thread as well. This more threads you are keeping, like you are enforcing a DBT to use more parallel processing. Okay, now if I am increasing this thread for more parallel processing, let me keep it 15. Test connection. Complete. You can see this complete, right? So we use this key pair authentication instead of our normal username and password, because username password you can't share everywhere, correct? Any kind of CI/CD if you are doing that time, you can't do username and password, or any kind of new user you are creating and you are exposing this username and password. That is not the correct way to use this DBT. You always try to use this key pair authentication, and in any industry you go, they will have this key pair authentication, and they will share this details, this private key details, begin and end. Okay, so if you are having different kind of roles as well, those details will be there as well in the encrypted way, right? So you just need to get this key details from them and use in your DBT account and try to test and save this here. So here we have already successfully created this setup. Once this setup is done, we need to add a repository, because in industry we do not work normally files in our local. We should we should have access to that Git repository where we can have all those our code bases are there, and when you are going to add your own code, then you need to follow the process, like you need to create a branch from the particular for this particular requirement, and inside that branch you need to modify your code, then you need to push this one, then someone from your team whoever is privileged to merge that code, they will verify your code, then they will merge this one. Okay, so this is the process we follow everywhere in any industry you go. So for that you can do this git clone. before that you should have a Git repository. I have already with me. Here, let me.
Sushil, Shiva here. I have a doubt actually.
Yes.
So, yeah, with respect to that exact number you have provided for parallel processing, that threads actually. So, what is the maximum number it will support? Or, yeah, is there any limitation there?
Maximum number, I'm not sure about that one, but for this parallel processing, we can increase that thread size. I'll check that one and let you know tomorrow. Okay, what is the maximum number? That I'm not sure what is the maximum number. And what is the
Yeah,
second question?
yeah, only this I want to know, like, if so that is fine. Like, if you are not able to tell that, that is fine. I just want to know, like, what is the optimal number you use
Yeah.
for threads in a production setup? Yeah.
Yes, actually, we have three kinds of threads we normally do. One is that dev, and one is UAT and production. Production, we are having always the bigger one, okay, compared to dev and UAT. Dev, we generally keep that smaller 6 to 10 in between that one because we don't want to give, means you will increase this threads, means you are utilizing more compute, okay, so that also correlated, these things are correlated. More parallel processing means more compute also you are utilizing. That's why we don't have the setup is like that, smaller is dev, then bit more in UAT, and the max whatever configuration we need for that testing and all, then we'll go for that production environment, that threads. Okay. So here we need to clone this Git. Before that, you should have a Git account. Let me check mine. Git here I don't have. Uh, Git. That one, not this one. Let me create a new repository for this one. Repository name DBT morning. Okay. Here, let me keep it public so that you can also have the access. Whatever codes I will add, you can get that as well. Here, choose visibility public, add readme, yes. Create a repository. So one new repository I have created. Then you need to go here. Let's check it SSH git @ GitHub. These details are here. Just copy this one. And the setup will have this git @ GitHub dbt morning.git I am giving. Just giving import. We are getting a key SSH RSA key. This key you need to deploy inside our GitHub so that handshaking will happen between this DBT and the GitHub. Just copy this one. Go to GitHub. Here we are having settings on the top. Deploy keys. Here add a deploy key. Key title you can give a DBT. Let's paste the key, whatever we copied from the DBT Cloud. You can give that allow write access, add the key. It's asking password. confirm. Okay, we have created this successfully. Let me go to now we are done with this repository setup. Start developing in the studio. And the first step you need to do this initialize DBT setup. You need to do initialize. By default, some details will come like default models will be there. My first DBT model, second DBT model, macros, and all those things. These are the default. By default, it is getting created when you will do this initialization of DBT. Okay. So when we create this particular DBT, we used one temporary email address, correct? So that temporary email address you would just keep somewhere handy, because when you will uh, next time when you will start logging in, then it will ask some kind of a third party authenticator like Google authenticator and all. Okay, let me check if I have saved it or not. This email, copy this one, save it here. Now let me sign out. This one already continue. See, the second time owners, it will ask this Google authenticator or this keys, because this is the setup that DBT gives. Second time onwards, you need to add some kind of authenticator, right? So try to do install inside in your mobile any kind of authenticator. It is Google authenticator. If you are having iPhone and all, their setup will be different. Okay. You just need to scan this QR code below using a preferred authenticator app and then enter the provided one-time code below. So I am having already authenticator in my mobile. Let me add this one, Google authenticator. It comes as a authenticator for Android device. Just you need to open that authenticator and on plus symbol you need to click. Then this scan the QR code. This scan is coming, right? Just I have scanned this QR code and it is giving one 6-digit code. Let me add that. Okay. Continue. This is your recovery code. Okay. You just need to save somewhere. This is the initial setup you need to do for this Google Cloud. Okay. So any kind of issue, we have seen this while creating this key pair authentication, we faced some kind of challenges like inside, if you are using this in your Windows machine or Mac machine, if you are using that Mac machine, just uh, mention over here that I am using Mac machine. How can I generate this thing? Okay. So with the help of this Cortex code, this is the Cortex code facility provided by Snowflake. Okay. So here you can just use the screenshot and ask, this is the error where I need help, and it will guide you. Don't be panic. Okay. So you are getting error, that's fine. It is a part of process, you will get the error, but you need to resolve these things. So to resolve these things, I have shown already how I faced this error and how we solved this error and successfully connected to DBT. Okay, don't be panic, just use this particular error screenshot over here and ask whatever system you are using, at least Windows or Mac system, or where you need exactly to do the configuration. For a Windows system, we have this PowerShell where we can do the configuration of this OpenSSL. Through OpenSSL, we are generating this key pair authentication, that private key, and that private key we are utilizing inside the DBT core setup. Okay, so this setup is done for us today, and that's what my agenda for today, to show how can we create this Snowflake 120 days account, and how can we uh, have the setup, DBT Cloud setup. Okay, so if you'll see, you can see DBT practice we have just created using this DBT. We have not uh, DBT practice here. No, not created this one. This one is the user DBT. It is added by default. We have not done anything from that DBT side because we have not run any kind of DBT model and all. So once we run something like this, then as per our defining data warehouse or schema, it will create. Okay, so let me give you one simple one. By default, we are having this fast DBT model is here, right? So just we'll run this thing and we'll see what is happening. I'll show you the details, but the first time just I'm running this thing, run this model. Run DBT failed. It failed, that's fine. Scheduling and location. First DBT model, debug logs. What is the problem? DBT class dot DBT fast model, database error in model. You can see DBT practice is not exist or not authorized. Okay, so Siva mentioned this thing, right? We created. We have not created. So we need to create this thing to work, or we can modify that particular whereas as per our details. Both the way we can do. If you want to create this is the easier one. Create this database and create this database. Successfully created. Then we will rerun again. Now it is successful. Okay, so error was we do not have that database, whatever we have mentioned. This one like DBT practice we created. So now it is let me verify this thing. We have this practice. Inside that we'll have DBT D class underscore D class. Inside that we have created this table, my first DBT model. So the same name, whatever model name is here, with the same name, this object got created. And see the you can see the definition of this: create or replace transient table. It got created. What is transient table? Why this transient table got created? We'll see in details when we'll cover this model part. And this particular DBT practice dot DBT underscore class, DBT underscore D class it created. Why DBT underscore D class it schema it got created? It is the database name. It is the schema name. It is our object name. Okay. So my first DBT model is nothing but that the model name, same model name, we have created a object, means this table, and why this DBT underscore D class come when we'll start the model, I'll show you, and how can we override this default part. Okay, that also I'll show you how can we do. And the data, if you'll see data preview, we have this one and null. Why it got created one and null? Because inside our model we have defined one and null to be created. Select one we are giving, and union null select null we are giving. So here the select statement we are giving, and on top of that it is creating the object. Okay, why these things are happening, how we are going to create the model, those all things we'll have once our this modeling part over, then we'll go for that model and we'll see. Okay, so for today now, this much I have planned to show you. This installation, this is important, and expectation is that at least you should create a Snowflake account, and this DBT Cloud setup you should do. For the DBT core setup, I will share you one video where you can create that DBT core in your own system, like and you can use that Visual Studio to utilize this DBT core facility. Okay. So let me stop the recording here.